The Chicago Bulls inquired about Dejounte Murray. Hold up. And then we got to talk about DeMar DeRozan. Is CDubb frustrated or is he tripping? Y'all already know we going to talk about it, break it down. But you got to hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby. And I'm with my dog, CDubb. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great, man. What's the word, man?
Y'all already know. If y'all tuning in right now on this night, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. But hey, Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports had some things to say about, the trade market, what's going on down in the NBA. Had some things talked about when he mentioned the Chicago Bulls as well. He said the Bulls have inquired about Dejounte Murray. But then went on to say that they just inquired about him and that talks never really gained much traction with the Atlanta Hawks. I say thank you. What do you say, CDubb?
I second that motion because Kobe White is the point guard here in with the Chicago Bulls. I think Dejounte Murray, even though he's playing with Trey Young over there, I think he's better suited to be the point guard of a NBA team. Now, if we get a guy like this, it'll be the same situation they got up with the Atlanta Hawks. I think Kobe White needs all the room to breathe. You don't need nobody to come around him and smother him and take his minutes or meddle with his confidence whatsoever. Although I think he would have been a nice substitute for Zach LaVine when in regards to points and actual going play. You actually get a better player in regards to ball handling, maybe defense. He's a little better. I like Zach as a better overall player, but I think he would have been sufficed. But for this current team with Kobe White flourishing like this, I do not want Dejounte Murray over here.
Yeah, it's all good for Dejounte Murray. Like, I like the player a lot. It was cool originally in the offseason before we expected Kobe White to be the type of point guard that he's been right now, just to have the discussion. But we already knew that was very, very unlikely when we went shopping around with NBA teams during the free agency mark during the offseason. Had a lot of fun. But I am happy that talks never gained traction between the Chicago Bulls and Dejounte Murray for the simple fact Kobe White is making me proud. Kobe White is doing everything we want him to do, plus more. And there's a lot of discussions, especially things to consider when it comes to how the team is playing. And I can argue over the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been putting on an absolute show and has been all-star caliber, even when he had his little few games to where he dropped down a little bit. And you still can't discount him because he was still putting up numbers. It just wasn't to the extent that we've seen him while he was on that like 14-game stretch of hitting three-pointers in the game. It was crazy. And I also feel last point, Dejounte Murray I think that Zach LaVine's games is more suited to be a good co-star next to Kobe White. I think it'll be better with Kobe White and Zach LaVine versus if you was looking at Kobe White and Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because last year, that would have been probably crazy to hear. We were like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't even know basketball. What the fuck are you talking about? But this year, times has changed. And if you watch the Bulls for this, what do you say, about 20 games, 25 games, you can see that the mantle is changed. Kobe White has to be the number one option on his team. And I do agree with you. Zach LaVine complements him pretty well. They both can do the same things. They shoot from three. They can get to the basket, even though Kobe White might be a little have a bigger bag than Zach LaVine, but he complements him so well until we get to the other guy. Talk about him in a minute.
For sure. And I think that Zach LaVine does compliment him well. I think you could have went with, for the sake of discussion, I think if you was trying to do anything, you could have went with a backcourt of Dejounte Murray and Zach LaVine. but I don't see a backcourt of Kobe White and Dejounte Murray being as dynamic as the latter. You know what I'm saying? Just don't think that it would have been as dynamic as what we can potentially see coming from these two guys for as long as Zach LaVine is here. We don't know, but he's here. So they got to make it work.
Yeah, you can forget about that idea. And I would go ahead and guess that this was relatively early to when Zach was get me another team, demanded a trade, and then they seen the way Kobe White played. I think they eventually, I'm glad they just missed this bullet right here. Cause you know what I'm saying? If they would have did that and Kobe White went to Atlanta, how would that have worked? Trey Young
Yeah,
and
it didn't make
Kobe
sense
White. You know
unless
what
unless the goal was to keep Kobe White and have him come off the bench, which I wouldn't have been a fan of.
Nah.
And because I wanted Kobe White to earn his shot anyway. So that's how I would have approached it. And my thing is, when you talk about a trade for the Chicago Bulls, if Zach is moved, I don't want nobody touching Kobe White, bro.
Oh, nobody touched Kobe White. And
You
I'm
like
gonna tell you this about the Atlanta Hawks, nephew. That
players.
would have worked with
Yeah,
Trey Young and Zach LaVine for sure.
yeah, agree.
That would have worked for sure.
Yeah,
Just to
that would have
let
been
y'all
good.
know.
That would have been good for Trey Young. I don't
Yep.
know if it would have been so good for the Chicago Bulls though.
No, no, it would have been good for us for not at all. But for the Atlanta Hawks with this guy being a shooting guard and this ball dominant point guard, that'd be awesome for sure.
Yeah, offensive galore. They would have been. They would have been. It would have. Well, Trey take care of the basketball, so they would have been all right, at
Yeah,
least
they
for the
would have been
most
like the
part.
Pacers. They were like the Pacers. They gonna score a lot of points. They ain't gonna stick any defense, but they gonna outscore you a lot of times. That's all.
For sure, for sure. Now look, y'all let us know your comments below on the whole Dejounte Murray thing. Y'all think the Bulls should have went ahead and just said let's see it, or y'all you kind of like you good with the no talks gaining traction or anything? Let us know down below. Next, we talk about DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan in yesterday's game, my guy, he had a fourth quarter. He had a fourth quarter I wasn't too fond of. But CDubb said he got something to say. Let's say what CDubb got to say.
DeMar DeRozan, cornrow Kobe, my man, DeMar DeRozan. You was doing well when the guys was out, when Zach LaVine was out and Nick Vooch was out. You was playing like a team. You was getting the young guys involved. I seen no ego whatsoever. You was playing tremendously. I even think we had a show and said who was the best player that could fit in with the Bulls right now. And I think we both, if I'm not mistaken, nephew, picked DeMar DeRozan.
At least for right now, yes, that's what
Yes,
it
we
was.
did pick DeMar DeRozan. But once we get the full team together, in these last couple games, DeMar DeRozan in the fourth quarter has been deplorable, bro. It's an obvious stat padding, egotistical, just trash basketball play on the court that you've been doing in the last two fourth quarters, bro. And made us play some unnecessary ass overtime games that we could have lost, but fortunately we won because we went back to the regular game plan, let Kobe initiate the offense, ball movement, things like that. DeMar DeRozan, something in his mind clicks like, I'm gonna be the superhero, and I'm going and it wasn't even needed in this last game with the Rockets because we was up double digits. But he took it upon himself to close the game when the game already closed. How you gonna close something already closed? And what you did in the opposite effect opened the door for the second time in a row for the Bulls to have an awful loss. And luckily, the Bulls were just better than the Rockets. They're better than the Hornets. I'll say better with the Rockets with a couple players that was sitting out. You know what I'm saying? With Dylan Brooks and Tyree Eason out and among other players. But they're better than them teams, especially this iteration of the Chicago Bulls. So with us, if we gonna keep DeMar DeRozan, somebody gotta put this man in his place. Like, bro, this is not the way we gonna win the games in this league. I understand that you did that for us in the past, but this is a new day. You do not have to play hero ball. You can watch the body language from the players on the court. You can listen to the crowd in the arena, and you can definitely tune in to the live calls with the Cognac boys to hear how shit is going on. Everybody sees it, DeMar. I think you can fit with this team, but you're gonna have to humble yourself.
How am I supposed to come up with something after that? But it is what it is. I'm here. Why not? It is what it is. I do got to throw something at you before I go though. Kobe White said if DeMar DeRozan make the shots, nobody complaining.
Kobe White, he being a great teammate. Nephew. That's all it. Did we see his face when that motherfucker shot that ball at the last second last night?
Yeah.
I mean, against the Rockets. You
Yeah.
seen this fake. It was anguish. It wasn't because he missed a shot. It was because it was a dumb ass shot, dumb ass strategy. And Billy Donovan, be a coach, bro. We cannot do this. It's worked a little bit this season. It has. I'll just be fair. It worked 1 or 2 games. But you can't win consistently like that in close games in clutch situations. You cannot. Everybody has the script on the Chicago Bulls and DeMar DeRozan in the last 2 minutes of the game. They're going to spread him out, and he's going to go 1-2-2, pump fake a million times, and hope he get a good shot off. It's not going to work, bro. We got to do something else, bro.
We've seen it. It worked year 1 with DeMar DeRozan when he made the All-Star game and was going bonkers. In year 2, look what the result was. Play in.
Play in, bro.
That's enough evidence to tell you because teams caught up and the close matchups didn't go into your favor as much as the previous year. So in this situation, I'm looking at it like this. Look, last night's game against the Rockets, DeMar DeRozan, he literally had like 2 or 3 possessions to it. It was just back to back. And I feel like you seen those double teams and you refuse to come up off of them and let the others cook. Kobe had a solid second half. Zach LaVine was playing a solid second half. And you had opportunities. So you didn't take them. You went to overtime. The game before, you had several drives to the basket towards the baseline. You was on the baseline, double teamed. Turnover was one of the plays. And then you took a bad shot on another play. And I could go out on a limb and say, in both games in overtime, the guys that you didn't trust saved your ass.
Both games.
In both games.
Both.
We know he can fit. It's all about sacrifice. That's all it comes down to. And then at some point, you just got to be able to trust your teammates, bro. You got to be able to trust your teammates. I think that sometimes they be like, and I know they probably count on him, so I'm not going to really go crazy on him. They count on him and they expect him to close the game.
Yeah.
But you got a great point. The game was already closed. You up by 16. Just play solid, fundamental basketball or sound basketball, complementary basketball, and you win this game easily by at least 10 points without going overtime.
I just don't understand it, bro. I just don't understand. Okay, I understand it. He's been doing this for a long time, nephew. He's been the lead dog for a long time, bro. But eventually, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I think even Mike deferred to Rip Hamilton sometimes in Washington, if you can believe that. You know what I'm saying? Even not LeBron yet. He still believe he's that guy.
He deferred to AD. AD ain't never accepted challenge. He used to defer. The shot that everybody like to bring up, the shot heard around the world in the finals. Kyrie Irving, LeBron deferred to him. So
yeah, that's true. So it's probably hard for him because of his ego. I ain't saying it's negative or positive when I say the word ego for him, but his track record and what he's done in his league throughout his career, I understand. But dude, if we want to be successful, y'all saying it's a live or die season. We did not forget what y'all said at the beginning of the season. It was you too. If it's live or die, please do something different. The shit that you've been doing for the last 2.5 years ain't been working. Try something new. I'll give you credit for your 3-point shooting. How about that? Could I give him that? You've been shooting a 3-point shot incredibly to the point where I'm like, okay, he could be on the floor. He could play with this team, this iteration of the Bulls, because I think he's a threat from the 3-point range now.
For sure. And that's what we've been calling for, 3 to 5 attempts from the 3-point line a game. and you call it a day and you live with the results. You just want him to take the shots. And as this whole season, he been making them. So now he becomes a threat, which opens it up for everybody else. I am going to cut him a little slack just for now. Not too long. Everybody's getting reacclimated. Let's just make sure that we move in the right direction. That's it.
The motherfucker, last thing, the motherfucker was 5 for 19, nephew. He probably was 5 for 15 before he started taking those shots.
Facts. That's how you know you're supposed to trust your teammates. Just trust your teammates. That's all I ask.
Come on, bro.
Anything else, though?
No, that's it, man. Hey, but we still got a 3-game winning streak. Let's keep it moving, man. It's just a little bit of dust up that we got to get through this team. Just a little dust, a little Vooch over here. Play defense. Actually, good job with Vooch in that overtime on Sengun. But look, Vooch over here, Javon Carter. Is he a fit on this team? Can we trade him and get like a cup of coffee or something? Or what are we gonna do?
Of coffee.
What we gotta do, man? We just need a little touch-ups on this team, and we'll be straight.
For sure. Well, that's it from us today. Make sure if you're tuned in, you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to call in, leave your take, go ahead and phone it in 773-242-9219. And of course, we're gonna catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.